Naman nyo, nung nakita nyo po si Alex, bit yung flag ng Pilipinas sa parada kanina.
Sobra. Sobrang happy. It's been dream since she was a kid to see her.
Mike Eala speaks out at the Miami Open, father's words that stilled the room. The sweltering South Florida heat has always been part of the identity of the Miami Open at Hard Rock Stadium. Each year, the humidity tests players, coaches, and officials to their limits. But in the 2026 edition of this prestigious event, the most unforgettable moment had nothing to do with a blistering serve or a stunning winner. It centered on a father, a quiet, reserved man who had long watched from the background as his daughter made Philippine sporting history. When he finally decided to speak, the entire tennis world paused and listened. Mike Eala, father of 20-year-old Filipina standout Alexandra Eala, stepped up to a microphone in Miami and delivered a statement so direct and protective that it immediately resonated across the sport. In a matter of moments, his words spread widely online and reframed a conversation that had drifted far away from tennis and into something far more personal. Welcome back to Court Vision Media, where we look beyond the surface of the sport to the human stories that shape it. Today's moment is about family, national pride, and the pressures faced by a young athlete competing on the global stage under constant public scrutiny. To understand why this moment carried such weight, you have to understand who Alexandra Eala is and what she has already achieved. At just 20, she has become one of the Philippines' most recognizable international athletes. She is not simply a promising prospect. Her results, ranking, and performances have established her as a legitimate presence on the WTA Tour. Only weeks before Miami, Eala climbed to a career-high ranking of world number 29, the highest ever reached by a Filipino player in professional tennis history. Her journey has included years of training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, a junior Grand Slam title at the U.S. Open in 2022, SEA Games success, and consistent representation of the Philippines in international team competitions. Sport runs deep in her family. Her mother, Riza Maniego Eala, is a former national swimmer and SEA Games medalist, and her uncle, Nali Eala, has held leadership roles in Philippine sports administration. For the Eala family, representing the country is not symbolic, it is personal and lifelong. When the Miami Open began, Eala carried both ranking expectations and national pride. In the early rounds, she demonstrated resilience and composure. She battled past Laura Siegemund in a demanding three-set match that tested her endurance and patience, before producing a composed straight-sets performance against Magda Linette. Off the court, a widely shared meeting with Eric Spoelstra became a symbolic moment for Filipino representation in global sport, resonating strongly with fans back home. Then came the round of 16 against Carolina Muchova. Muchova, a top seed in excellent form, delivered a dominant performance, winning 6-0, 6-2. It was a tough, honest day against one of the tour's most tactically gifted players. In professional tennis, such results happen even to the very best, and they often become important learning experiences in a young player's development. Unfortunately, in the aftermath, online commentary in some corners shifted away from tennis analysis and toward questions about identity and nationality, claims that overlooked Eala's long record of representing the Philippines with pride across every stage of her career. The narrative moved from performance to personal identity, something that no athlete should have to confront after a difficult loss. That is the context in which Mike Eala spoke. In a quiet press room at Hard Rock Stadium, he addressed the emotional toll of seeing his daughter's commitment questioned. His voice was steady but filled with emotion as he asked how anyone could criticize a young athlete who has devoted her youth to representing her country. Then he delivered a line that quickly spread across social media: "If you come for my daughter, you come for the entire Philippines." Those words struck a chord far beyond the tennis court. Fans, journalists, and members of the broader sports community expressed support, emphasizing that patriotism is demonstrated through years of sacrifice, not judged by a single match result. Messages of solidarity poured in, and the focus returned to where it belonged: respect for an athlete's journey and dedication. The moment also highlighted a broader issue in modern sport: how quickly online narratives can move from performance to personal identity, especially for young athletes competing under national expectations. It served as a reminder that behind rankings, scorelines, and headlines are real people navigating immense pressure. For Alex Eala, attention now turns to the clay court season and the next phase of her development. Clay presents new tactical challenges and opportunities for growth, longer rallies, greater patience, and strategic construction of points. Rankings may fluctuate in the short term, but her trajectory, work ethic, and support system suggest continued progress and maturity as a competitor. The 2026 Miami Open will be remembered not only for tennis, but for a father's public defense of his daughter and a reminder of the human side of elite sport. Beyond rankings and scorelines, this was a moment about family, dignity, and national pride, values that transcend any single result. That's all for today's episode of Court Vision Media. If this story resonated with you, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the stories that go deeper than the baseline. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Where do you see Alex Eala's journey heading next, and what would you like to see from her during the clay season?